Hello, this is Mark Ridgway again with lesson 5 in how to use PrayerMate. So we're going to take an interlude here and talk about some of the technical things in the background. I think everyone needs to address these. I know some people are not techno savvy, but they need to know about the issues and to be aware of them. And in the final talk, I'll talk about some more advanced subjects. But today we start off with, where does PrayerMate run? Obviously it runs on phones, but more specifically it runs on Android and Apple phones and tablets. It will run on a Windows PC if you want to install an emulator like BlueStacks, and perhaps with Windows 11 coming along providing Android support. So I expect eventually that PrayerMate will become usable through Windows 11. And of course, if you've got a phone that can connect to Windows through your phone, you'll be already familiar with how to look at your screen on your PC and operate your phone from your PC. Okay, but most people, the vast majority, will have a phone or a tablet and they'll be praying from that. So I wanted to have a look at the group global settings. The only way to get to those is to go to a prayer session, and here's the button up here. Don't ask me why there isn't a button up on the main page, but that's what you have to do. A couple of things to mention up front that are really important. First is help keep PrayerMate free. Basically, PrayerMate is a free app, but there are people who are being paid in the background to build it and support it and to maintain it. And it's right and proper that if you start using PrayerMate on an ongoing basis, that you should become a PrayerMate patron and pay them some money just to pay your fair share of the maintenance fees. That needs to be said. Security is another issue that we really need to be aware of, and that is very technical, and most people who own phones don't even think about it. In the case of PrayerMate, obviously you're going to have some very sensitive stuff in there, very sensitive stuff, and you need to be careful. The PrayerMate database that is created on your phone is encrypted in such a way that no one except yourself or that phone can actually see the data. Not even the people up in the PrayerMate team. PrayerMate team cannot see any of your data, nor can anyone else. The exception to that, of course, if you join a prayer group, and of course you then share prayers, that's different. But your private prayers are very much locked away. Of course, nothing is 100% secure, but you've got a phone and nothing on your phone is 100% secure. So you probably already know that, but that needs to be discussed. One case you might want to think about is if you have, say for example, a tablet that's shared in the family and you want to use that and you don't have separate user profiles, everyone uses the same user profile, and you don't want prying eyes looking into your PrayerMate database. You can use this feature here, the Passcode Lock, which you can set on, and you can set a password, but be warned, once you set a password, you have to remember it. If you forget it, then the data is encrypted against that password, and there's no way of unencrypting it unless you remember the password. It's gone forever. So be warned about that. The most important thing to consider though is, since you are building over the long term perhaps quite a large prayer database, you will need to work out how to back it up. And of course phones get lost and phones get changed, and how to transfer your prayers from one phone to another. The normal facility in the past has been to export data and to import data. It's a clunky process. It does not work very well at all in my mind. However, it does work, and it creates a file for every prayer list and for every subject that's archived. That gets very messy. And that's why it doesn't work all that well in my mind. That's just a personal opinion. Other people, I'm sure, have used it successfully. However, in more recent times, they have introduced My Account. Okay, basically, if you click on My Account, you can connect your Google account into PrayerMate. What happens in the background is that PrayerMate will create what's called a Firebase real-time database, and all of your data will end up in that database. What's even better is that if you have a second device, you can then start up PrayerMate there, and then you have an option when you start up to actually download your Google, connect up your account to Google and download all your Google stuff to the new device, which is really nice, and it does work very well. However, Firebase is not a robust database system, and it is not 100% reliable, and you will lose stuff, as I have on a number of occasions. So 99% of the time probably okay, but you will start to lose stuff on occasions. What those occasions are is so difficult to debug. The team is so small that they're not going to be able to expend the energies trying to work out what happened in any particular situation. It's almost impossible to debug in these situations. And so the message is you live with it. It works pretty well. But if you lose stuff, don't be surprised. Fortunately, it's usually only minor matters. There are other things to look at, and perhaps you might want to look at reminders. You can set up a reminder in your alarm. You can do that manually, of course, but you can do it through here if you want to. And also, when you subscribe to some prayer lists, they actually automatically set up a reminder for you, and it puts up a notification. And you've got a few other things which you can play with, color schemes and font sizes, and you can play with to your heart's content. Hope you found that useful. I would highly recommend using the My Account system and connecting up to Google. And it's fairly secure, it's fairly workable, and it will make your life very much easier. It's a click and forget system, and it has been a great improvement. So next time we'll be talking in our final talk on some more advanced subject matters. Thanks.